Hi, this is my second video of doing this. Disclaimer, I am not promoting smoking. I'm not promoting the use of an e-fag to be used by children. I'm simply doing these videos for if you are wanting to quit smoking and you are looking to quit smoking via the vaping system, then you may find this helpful. I've been smoking for 26 years on and off, so, you know, I have quit a couple of times and then restarted the habit. Out of all the things I have tried to quit, the longest I have done is 7 years, and that's been through the tech of an e-fag. And since I've been vaping, obviously, vaping has got a lot better. The equipment advanced a lot since I started vaping. So there's lots of different types of vapes. There are differences. Obviously, you could get the disposables, which, let's be honest here, they're not very friendly to the environment. Mind you, neither are the reusable ones. The difference between the usable ones is, in the long run, you are going to save money, then keep buying disposables. So if you are someone that doesn't like refillable ones, because it could be, like in my experience, it's the taste, the flavouring. Now, I will state I do suffer with autism, so if things don't taste right, that will put me off instantly, and that's not the fault of the manufacturers. From my understanding, between what I'm going to show you is that one of the products I'm going to show you, their system has a lot more flavour because of how it's because of the way they've designed it, and they kind of knew when they were designing it what was going to happen, and that's why they've designed it the way they have, so you get the full experience and without so much of the hassle, and stop you buying disposables. So what do you get in a vaping kit? Well, it depends what kind of vaping kit you're going for. Now, most people, when they look for vaping kits, they look for ones like this, okay? I have two different ones. By the way, all these vapes that I'm showing you, that they are mine personally. I've bought myself. I'm not sponsored by anyone. This is just to try and give you a bit of information when it comes to buying an e-fag. If you're trying to quit, what might be the best options for you. So these are the ones that most people go for. You have like your fillable cartridge, you obviously have your battery that it sits in, and then at the bottom here there's your little coil. This one's if I can get it out, sorry a minute, I'm gonna have to use a tool. So, and then you've got this one again, like the chamber comes off. Okay, so there's your chamber and there's your coil. Now, depending obviously which one you get, is depending how you take your coil out, how long you can use your coil for. They recommend changing your coils every 30 days, but obviously I go on use. If you're on it solidly for 30 days, like if you're a heavy smoker, then you'll probably find you will need to change your coils every 30 days. If you're not smoking that much, you could probably get 2 months out of it. Me personally, I find I can make a coil last around about 3-4 weeks. If I stretch it, I can get to 5, but then by 5 weeks it's a bugger to pull, and the flavour just tastes horrible. But that's more about saving money. So for example, with this one, to get this coil out, right, you have to, it's like a push in. See, I've had to use a tool because I don't have the strength. And then obviously you just change your coil, you pop it back in, then you fill it up, and then you clip it back in, and away you bloody go, right? Looks quite simple, doesn't it? Apart from the fact I had to get a tool to get the thing out, but not that hard. Then you've got this one. Again, the coil. You take out, you screw out, you screw a new one in. Obviously, you have to make sure the coil's in straight, you know what I mean? Stretch it, put it all in, and you can fill your oil up, and then you put your oil on. Obviously, don't put your oil on like that. Put it in upside down, obviously, otherwise you're just going to spill all the oil out. But obviously, there's nothing in it, so it don't matter how I screw it on. All right, so these are... So that one's broke. Well, not broke technically. It does still work. It's just the battery's going in it, so it doesn't hold the battery. So hence I don't use it. However, I don't want to throw it away because it does still have life in it. I can use it indoors, providing I don't take it out. You know what I mean? And I'm near a charging point. I can use it for an hour before I need to charge it. So you know, it's the backup of all backups. This is my backup. Anywho, so yeah, and then obviously you need some, it depends what kits you get. Some kits, they will come with the oil and one spare coil, you know. Some kits don't. So if you go into a shop, your best bet is to ask if they do starter kits, because most places do. But yeah, if you're thinking of getting one of these types, you're going to need spare coils, and you're going to need to make sure you get the right coils because they're two different coils. For example, this coil is different to this coil. So you need to make sure, obviously, you get the right coils and that. Yes, you can buy extra, like, of these and mouthpieces and, you know. But basically, if you buy one of these, you're going to need juice and coils, okay? So... you know, and depending on how much you pay is obviously depending on what you get, but it's all basically kind of same system. And then you've got the second vape system, which is a lot easier than them ones, and I'll explain one, which is the pod system. And literally all you get, this is a Lost Mary Tapo. I have done a review on this. I've had this one for 3 days. I bought another one today. I will say the pod that I've used it for 3 days, and this pod is nearly empty. So this has taken me 3 days. I will say the first 2 days I weren't on it as heavy. Today I've been solely committing to just using this because today I decided I'm completely giving up. For the past 2 days I was trying not to waste my backy, basically. So I was like, right, I'm going to finish off my backy and then go on to my EFAG. So yeah, yesterday I was kind of between backy and EFAG. Today I'm just on my EFAG. So yeah, yeah. So I would say, even if I was just fully committed to an EFAG, I know, for example, ones like this, the whole juice will last me a day and a half. So the fact it is the same size, as you can, well, a little bit bigger, so probably 2 days with constant use. And I've been using it for 3 days straight, on and off yesterday, but today I have literally been using it all day, and it's nearly empty. There's still some in there. It's nearly empty, but I haven't needed to charge it yet, so this has still not been charged since I got it out of the shop. So I haven't even charged it yet. But what I like about this system, it's a pod. So it all comes complete with the coil, your juice, you buy your pods, you prime your pods, you wait 5 minutes, you pop your pod in. And away you go. And the other thing I like about this system compared to this one is, if you've tried the disposables, like the Lost Mary disposables, you know how strong the taste and everything is. It's exactly the same with these. There is no difference between a disposable and this with the Lost Marys. They're exactly the same flavour, consistent flavour all the time. There is no burnt staleness unless you don't prime your pod properly and you don't need to saturate. Then you're going to get a burnt coil taste. But if you do everything as per the instructions, it will work absolutely fine. So, yeah. That's one reason why I like them. The other reason why I prefer this than these is If you want to change your flavour, it is just a case of taking out your pod and putting a different pod flavour in, and away you go. And to prove a point, I have 2 here. This one has lemon and lime. This one's spearmint. See? And I have done it because obviously I bought this one today, where I have had literally just that one on me, that in my handbag, and when I've wanted to swap them around, just swapped them around. And you know what? They haven't leaked or anything, so thumbs up. The other difference between this and these kind of ones is this is literally you just put your pods in and you pull, you wait for it to prime, you pull, you're ready to go. Ones like this, you have all different settings, like you can turn up your voltage, you've got your airflow, so whether you want it stronger or weak, like stronger smoke or weaker smoke. But more importantly, you have to push the button to, and if you don't push them in enough, or you don't push it in hard enough, it won't work because you're obviously not putting enough pressure on it. So I don't like it for that reason. I also don't like the fact, the hassle, and it is a hassle. Like if you're out and about and you suddenly realise, oh my God, I've got to fill it up. So what do you have to do, right? Especially if you're out, you have to take it off, right? Then you have to hold that, put your juice in, right, and then very carefully like put it back on. Which is all fair and well, but you know, like as you can see, I'm still trying to screw it, you know what I mean? So if you've got someone with dexterity issues or problems with their hands, that's going to be really hard. The other thing I don't like about these as well is the coils, changing the coils. Now, this one ain't too bad, it unscrews. However, you do have to wipe, obviously, the residue oil off, then unscrew it, and screw it. You know what I mean? And again, if you haven't got dexterity in your fingers, or, you know, you have problems with coordinating your fingers, that's going to be really hard to do. And then you're going to be relying, from experience, you're going to be relying on your mum ringing you up, going, can you come over and sort out me fag? You know what I mean? It's like, Renee, you know what I mean? But you do it because you love your parents and you want them to stop smoking. So, you know, you'll go out of your way to help them out. Bless them. So, yeah, and that's the other thing I don't like about them. And also, the flavour. Now, there is a difference between the pod and the oil or liquid, whatever you want to call it, and I will explain the difference in a minute. So yeah, where with a Mary Tapo, you haven't got to worry about settings, you haven't got to worry about changing your coils, you haven't got to worry about filling up your pods. It's just literally a case of, the only thing you have to worry about is making sure your pod's primed and you let it sit for 5 minutes before you use it. And to be fair, with coil systems, you have to do the same anyway. As soon as you fill them up with oil, you have to wait 5 minutes before you can use them. So it is no different. The only difference is you haven't got to do all the work like you have on these ones. These ones just pop in and away you go. And there's no settings to worry about. There's no air filter to worry, like filter adjustments to worry about. There's no voltage to worry about. You know, it is literally just off you go. And that's what I like about them. So if you're buying a system for, say, a relative that wants to quit smoking but doesn't have the dexterity, this will probably be for you. So what's the difference between a pod and your e-liquid? Well, first thing is how they're made. For example, Lost Mary is made by Elf Bar, and I can't think, there is another one that's similar to Elf Bar and Lost Mary. It's another manufacturer. Their liquids are exclusive to them, and that's why they're full of flavour. A, they're exclusive, and B, it's the amount of flavouring they use. Now, you're probably thinking, well, I don't understand why disposables have more flavouring than e-liquids. And the simple reason is this, because what gives this flavour will clog up your coils a lot quicker than this one. So to try and make e-cigarettes more affordable, they needed to come up with a solution that wouldn't clog up your coil too quickly, because obviously when it starts costing you more than smoking, there's no point. So obviously they needed to try and make something that was cheaper than smoking. So obviously they found that not using as much flavouring obviously stopped you going through the coil so quick, stopped clogging the coil up so quickly, where with disposables and these pod systems, they are used for one-time use. So, you know, it don't matter if the coil clogs up, because you get a new coil in your new pod. So that's why these are more potent than the liquids. However, I will say on the Lost Mary, you can actually buy refillable pods. I do not know whether the coil's interchangeable. I would assume it would be, because the fact it's a refillable pod, so I assume it would probably come with separate coils. If you're one of these people, I don't like the thought of just keep chucking away pods that's still away, so I'd rather have one that is a refillable system. So you can get these as a refillable system like these, and then you can just use normal liquids and that. However, like I said, I don't really like the liquid system, more for the taste really, because I find after a while, like, you could fill that up and the first 3-4 tokes will be fine. Thereafter, it's kind of like a stale, not as fresh flavouring as when you first put it in, and then that gets a bit off-putting. And then you've got a choice. You can either keep with the liquid or dump it and put new fresh in. And also, I don't like these as well, because, say, if you get bored of the flavour and you want to change it again, you're going to have to empty out the liquid and refill it. You know what I mean? So, hence I like the pod system. So, yeah. So, if you're trying to stop smoking and you just want a hassle-free vape system that is so simple to use, a Lost Mary Tapo, you can't go wrong. They're really cheap as well. This is actually cheaper than what I paid for this, and the refills are, for the amount you pay for 2 pods, you can buy one of them. So it's juice wise, it's no more. By the time you factor in your coils as well, you know what I mean, technically you're actually not spending any more on this than you are one of these, if you break it down. So it's not going to cost you any more. If anything, it might actually save you a little bit of money, because the device is a lot cheaper. Like this, I paid £9 for this, I paid £30 for that, and that one was £50. You know what I mean? And I prefer my little £9 one. Go figure. So yeah, I'll do an update when I need to charge it, but so far we're on day 3 and I've not needed to charge it.